Defense in the first half of the game, and the Bulls giving up a big lead in the first half, eventually even losing that lead. The Chicago Bulls still pull out a win, a much needed win against the Miami Heat on the road, the first of two games they're facing off against the Miami Heat with. We're going to talk about it all and more, break it down, but first, got to play the winning intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
All right, Bulls fans, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every single social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the content for today, and we get to talk about a dub. The Chicago Bulls pull out a victory on the road, 124-116 against the Miami Heat in this game, led as always by Coby White, leading the way 9 of 20 from the field, 11 assists, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal. Coby White absolutely balled out in this game. And then when you look at Nikola Vucevic scoring 15 points in just the third quarter alone, he finishes the game with 24 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals from Nikola Vucevic, getting active out there. DeMar DeRozan also 6 of 14 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 23 points from DeMar DeRozan. Much better second half than first half from DeMar as well. But the story of the game is going to be, even with the way that Coby White played from the opening jump, is Ayo Dosunmu in the second half of this game. Alex Caruso going down yet again with injury. Ayo Dosunmu having his best game of the season. There were some people in here saying that Ayo Dosunmu needed to be losing his minutes to rookies before this game started. He goes 10 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from free throw range, 3 of 4 from three-point range, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 24 points from Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo Dosunmu balled out in this game and reminded everyone why this is preparing to be one of his best seasons in the NBA now that his role has kind of gotten to a place of you know what to expect from Ayo. Ayo balled out this game, and I love the way that Ayo has been playing, throughout, this recent stretch. Yes, he had a couple of bad games in there. Can't take away from those bad games because there are definitely bad games in there from Ayo Dosunmu. But even regardless of those, he came into this game. He played extremely well down the stretch. He stepped in big time where we needed it. Alex Caruso is such an important part of the energy of this team. So when he's gone and he's not out there, it's going to be felt. And so Ayo was able to come in here and just absolutely ball out. You got to love, I don't know how anybody could take anything negative from the game that Ayo Dosunmu played today. And if you do, you're flat out just a hater. I don't even know what to say on you in that one. You're just a hater if you hate on this game from Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo balled out today, and it was good to see how his confidence built quarter after quarter. Just as this game went on, he just got more and more confident and balled out. And you love to see that from a young player stepping into this role. Keep in mind, coming into the season, there were questions about what Ayo's role was going to be on this team. And he's carved out such a nice niche for himself coming off the bench and understanding how his energy is needed and stuff like that. And he just continues to develop, continues to show more every single time. I love the way that Ayo Dosunmu played, especially in this game, giving the Bulls every bit of what they needed in this game. And so, like I said, love the Ayo Dosunmu in this one. I don't have personally anything negative to say about Ayo's game. I love the way that he played, and hopefully Bulls fans appreciate it as well. We had to fight hard for this game. This was not a game that came easy to the Chicago Bulls by any stretch of the imagination. They had to come in and take care of business, and they were able to do that. The defense was much better. The crispness was much better in the way that they played. Everything just in this game was so much better in the second half of this game. Showed a little bit of it, of course, in the first half, right? We saw it. We understood what they were trying to bring and stuff like that, but it didn't quite give exactly what we needed. And so we saw that now in the second half of this game. And just great gameplay by Ayo Dosunmu. Vooch stepping up in the second half of this game. Coby White being what Coby White's being. You got to give credit to DeMar as well and how he played at parts in this game. Love this game from the Chicago Bulls, man. Love this game from the Chicago Bulls. It was really good to see. And love it. Bench. Listen, the bench overall over the last couple of weeks needs some work, right? Ayo really saved it, but he was starting in the second half of this game. Javon Carter and Andre Drummond Andre Drummond and Torrey Craig, 7 and 5 points respectively off the bench. Nothing from Javon Carter at all. Dalen Terry got a little bit of his minutes, but it just, it is what it is when it comes down to it. But Billy Donovan shrunk up that rotation some. We didn't see Julian Phillips in this game. We didn't see his usual 4-minute stretch or anything like that. Take from that what you will with it, but overall, I got to give the credit, and I got to give some credit to Billy Donovan as well. Adjusted extremely well in the second half of this game, did that against one of the best coaches in the NBA as a whole, and Eric Spoelstra, and how he was able to come in and perform in that. I give it up to them. Love the way and the heart that this team played with. This was a good win. Let's go ahead and see how you guys are feeling about it. We got Benji in the building. He says the Pelicans near. Well, I ain't got time to read all that, brother. Game ball to Io. Completely agree with you on that one, bro. Completely agree with you on that one. JK says the future is bright. Agree with you on that one. Patch in the building says Io took that personally. I agree with you on that one, man. Great win. Great win. Colin Taylor says great effing win. Agree with you on that. Baylor, this team is just different. I wasn't bothered by them losing the lead, as it's a regular thing these days. It just comes down to clamps and shots. This was an effing game. No, I don't care about injuries. Listen, injuries matter to a degree, right? You got to have the quality depth to step into it. But one thing this team has shown, right? Zach LaVine has been out, and this team has discovered its heart. And I'm not blaming Zach or anything for any of that, because that just is what it is. I'll let you guys have that discussion on if you want to blame Zach for that or not. But like, it's just good to see this team come in and compete at this level, man. It's just good to see a team play with the heart of Chicago. And that's where we got to see another game of this team playing with the heart of Chicago. Love to see it. Love to see it, man. Io DeSumo. Shout out to Io. This was a great game from Io, bro. Great game from Io DeSumo. Chase, please get DeMar. Come on, bro. Like I get it, and I know he hasn't played perfectly or anything like that, but come on, man. Peter says he ain't never getting compared to Tony Snell again. He's made up for that quadruple zero. So it's good to see with that. We got my brother from across the pond, BKR Sports, says Bulls own Heat. Jokic is a wish version of Vucevic. Coby White is the best player in the NBA since Jordan. Io DeSumo is already in the Hall of Fame. That's crazy. But hey, I love the way that this team competed, man. Definitely appreciate it. Seen enough, built around Coby White. He has arrived. I mean, listen, the one thing with Coby is he even talked about wanting to see his consistency. He's put together about a solid month now. He did go 9 of 20 from the field, but he got to the free throw line 8 times in this game as well, 4-11 from three-point range, but the 11 assists, 7 rebounds. Coby White is getting active out there. And for anybody who doesn't actually watch the games, you're missing such a special season from Coby White. Yes, the three-pointer is going to make some news. Yes, the shooting and the scoring and the box score stuff is going to make the news. But really, you got to see how much of a complete player Coby White has become. Coby White is a complete player. That just is what it is. He's a complete player now. And that's something we got to see grow and develop in the Chicago Bulls uniform. I don't take that for granted at all. Patrick Williams is the best father to Jimmy Butler. Hope he gives him a nice presents for Father's Day. If that's funny. Patrick Williams having an okay night tonight. Very active defensively, but as far as the stat sheet, isn't much going to stick out from it. Two blocks, 2 steals. Love to see that. 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 9 points for Patrick Williams. But again, much like I said about the Coby White thing to a bigger extent, you have to watch this game to understand that Patrick Williams really did find a way to impact the game even without scoring a lot. Ben 10 says the good thing about this is that we got enough talent. We don't need Zach, a good shooter on this team. So basically, this trade going to make the team 2 times better with another great talent. Well, we don't know if we're going to get a great talent back, but the team playing as a team is one thing. And let's not. We got some quality wins in there, but we can't yet say that this team is necessarily going to be better. But I definitely love the way that you feel, and the energy is definitely better around this team. Austin says, great game. So fun to watch when they move the ball. Yes, when they move the ball and move without the ball. By the way, I'm drinking wine tonight. There you go. But yeah, definitely agree with you on that one. That Earl Stevens Fruscato is aged strong. It's good as well, though. The team just feels different when Coby White is on the floor. That's a sign of making your players better and a franchise player in the making. This didn't feel like this with Zach. I mean, I understand what everybody's getting at with that. Can't deny, can't argue it at all. Like, it's something different about the way that this team's playing, period. Alex Lorez says Coby continues to push for that most improved player consideration, but Io was the difference maker tonight. Yeah, Io's energy, everything surrounding Io DeSumo tonight just was everything that the Bulls needed. And you saw, like I said, you saw the confidence in Io build as the game went along to where it's like, hey, Io's out here quietly cooking. Oh, it's not quiet anymore. Io just cooked y'all. And it felt like that throughout the game. Seeing Io have this type of game, I can't stress enough. As somebody who's a lifelong Bulls fan, he's from the city of Chicago. Like, it's just good to see Io just play this way. And after last season having a sophomore slump and a lot of Bulls fans kind of being down and over Io DeSumo, it's really good to see him come back in this season and just find his role, that thrive in that role, and his confidence is building on that. And now we're getting back to the Io DeSumo that's just playing free, the Io DeSumo that's getting in rhythm offensively, that he's not missing as many bunnies at the rim. Hell, the 3-point shot and how he shot the 3-pointer in this game. No, he's not going to do that every game. He's not that type of player. But one thing Io DeSumo showing you is that when he gets in rhythm, he can downright shoot the ball. And keep in mind, Alex Caruso didn't come in this league as a shooter. He's shooting the ball 50% from three right now. So you never know what's going to happen with Io. He's shooting it. Not the best three-point shooter percentage of his career. He's shooting at 33%. It's not as good as the 37% he was shooting it his rookie year. But listen, Io is finding ways to impact the game of basketball, and he's thriving in it. And it's good to see Io do that, man. It's really good to see that. I love how Coby played with confidence, talking to his teammates, giving them confidence as well as a good win. And that's one thing that I've said with Coby as well. Not only are we seeing Coby grow as a player on the court, we're seeing Coby grow as a leader. And that's a big thing, especially for a team that's heading to a new phase where your younger players are going to play even bigger and more important role for you. And you lost that verbal leader in Lonzo. We haven't really had that. We had that a little bit with Pat Bev. But you're seeing Coby White turn into that vocal leader for this team. And that is going to be something that, is going to pay off in the future as well. So love seeing him play this way. Love seeing the confidence he's playing with, man. Let's hope that continues. Poindexter Flex says, holy cats, only 5 turnovers, 3 by DeRozan, 2 for the rest of our team. Listen, when the Bulls don't turn the ball over, that's definitely something that helps them. And so when you look at like the nitty gritty stats is what I call them, right? I like to go over those because that's what really helps the Bulls when you look at it. The Bulls, for example, 17 points off turnovers in this game. The Miami Heat, only 5 points off turnovers, right? And it's hard to get that more points off turnovers when the Bulls only turn the ball over 5 times, right? When you look at the rebounding battle, we won that only by 1, but we did win that. That's a good thing to see as well. Then when you look at points in the paint, we murdered them in the paint tonight. 52 points in the paint by the Chicago Bulls to only 38 for the Miami Heat. Second chance points, we killed them in that. 14-18 on second chance points. They did beat us by 1 in fast break points, but that is neither here nor there. So again, solid night for the Bulls. They took care of business enough. Shooting the ball 38, basically 39% from 3-point range, going 14 of 36, and then 48% from the field overall. Listen, the Bulls came in here and they took care of business. That's it. They led throughout this whole entire game, despite giving up, the big lead, things like that. This team led throughout the whole entire game. That's what you want to see from a team. That's what you want to see from this team. And the defensive rating in this game, we talked about it. First half, it was high, 116, not great. 6 points over the minimum, but I mean the average. But the Bulls balled out in this game. They took care of it. Motherfuckers was talking about Io step up big tonight. I like when he run. He's at his best at all, and the shots start to fall. Coby got that dog in him. Give that man the keys. I think he has it. At this point, if Billy Donovan doesn't realize that you need to ride with Io, then I don't know what to say. He's never going to realize it if he doesn't realize it now. Io is showing everything that you possibly want him to. And it just is. Coby White's turning into that leader. Everything is just turning out the way that you wanted to see as a Bulls fan that wants to see growth and development from this team. We're killing it. Prove me wrong in the building. Says, people told me Coby ain't a point guard, 11 assists, 0 turnovers. I think what they mean in that is he's not the true point guard, right? That's the thing people use, but that true point guard shit, it's not very many of them in the league. Io's a point guard. He can play point guard. He's probably going to keep playing point guard. Would you allow Zach LaVine to shine Coby White shoes? My answer is no. That's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, if that's how you feel, my brother BKR, love how the second quarter didn't bog us down like it has every other time. The one thing with this Bulls team that they've been showing heart, understanding since like again, I'd say that Denver game maybe not as much heart as I would have liked it to be in that game, especially in the second half. But like for the most part, we've been seeing consistent heart from this Bulls team since the Zach LaVine went down. And honestly, it started showing a little bit before then. I think we kind of look at this Zach LaVine since Zach LaVine went out thing, and we just focus on that when the team was showing signs of starting to turn some things around before then. But like it just when you have this type of team that you don't know where the offense is going to come from, and I mean that in a positive way. I mean that from the defenders on the other team. Like you saw in this game, Coby White started off. He was hot to start the game, and then it took Nikola Vucevic to come along in the second half of this game, and you really couldn't do anything. Vuce had 7 points in the first half of this game. He was 3 of 7. In the second half of this game, Vuce went 7 of 14 for 17 points. Coby White, 14 points in the second half. DeMar DeRozan, 10 points in the second half. And Ayo Dosunmu with 16 points in the second half. This team, again, they balled out. And that's what you want to see from a team. That's the good thing to see from this team. Great win tonight in an away game. Caruso makes such a big difference, but awesome to see we got the W with Caruso out. Great game by Ayo and Coby. Hope you're well, Haize. Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you, Johnny Rico. I'm doing mostly okay. And I'm even better when I get to see my team win, man. Y'all make sure y'all put respect on Coby White's name. If you hear anybody out there slandering Coby White, tell them to put some respect on Alec Jacoby White's name. You tell them to do that. And that's why when the All-Star voting shows starts, we got to show love to Coby White. Let's make sure that we do our best that we can to get Coby White in that All-Star game. He's going to definitely get invited to the three-point contest. I'm willing to say that now. He's getting invited to the three-point contest, but we got to get Coby White's name in that All-Star game as well. Make sure you guys show out to vote. Super Duper Danko says, yeah, this Kobe's team, and we still have Ayo. All I wanted to see was a Bulls team where Ayo and Coby are both big parts of the success. Love to see this. Yeah, and hopefully we get Patrick Williams kind of getting back to what he was over that 4-game winning streak. But like I said, he did some other things here. This wasn't one of those games where Patrick Williams disappeared, right? And that's the biggest thing for him. You didn't want to see him disappear. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Roseland Survivor says, bro, your ass keep a fire sweater. Well, this is a hoodie, not a sweater. But yes, I keep fire sweaters, hoodie, Bulls gear in general. There's always fire merch around here. 2 things you can always bet on for me. Fire ass content, fire ass drip. I appreciate you, brother. What an all-around solid game from Ayo and Vuce. Vuce put down today. I sense a level of appreciation from Miami. They knew we played hard and earned this one. Yeah, this is a win that the Bulls earned. They didn't luck into it. You can't say the Miami Heat lost this game. The Chicago Bulls won this game. That's it. Coby White and Ayo look like the backcourt of the future. If he can play like this consistently, Coby White with those 12 assists, man, he just gets the job done. Put the ball in his hand and let him work. Coby White balled, bro. And the thing is that I said it at the start of the season, right? I didn't even want Coby White to be the starting point guard, but even the people that came in was like, oh, Coby got to sit down. I was like, no. He's the starting point guard. He deserves to have that. Since they named him as the starting point guard, they got to see this through. Let him go through this and learn this job on the fly. And that's what Coby White has done. He's learned this job and has thrived on it on the fly. And that's a big part of what we're seeing from him. Love to see it. Love to see it. Bulls for Life says the young guys were absolutely fantastic tonight. There's a young core that if the Bulls keep adding young pieces, we're looking at a playoff team within the next 5 to 10 seasons. 5 to 10? Oh, yeah, within the 5 to 10. First of all, if it takes 5 to 10 seasons to be a playoff team, that's not good, my boy. That's not good at all. So, no, let's not say 5 to 10 seasons. That's 5 to 10? 5 to 10? Nah, bro, that's crazy. Vuce saved the Bulls in the third quarter. I'm disappointed Pat didn't attack the rim consistently with no real shot blockers to stop him. Well, I mean, listen, it's easier said than done, especially when you have a team that's congested in the mid-range, but I feel you. Zay Over says, Haize in the building. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you for all the Bulls content, but we won a game. We kept the lead all game long. See red. Facts. Led throughout this whole game. When's the last time that happened, right? Led throughout the whole game. Love to see that from this team. Love to see that from this team, man. Tim Brazil says, salary question. What avenues are there to free up actual salary cap within the next 2 years? Zoe expiring, possible expiring contracts from the Zach LaVine deal, DeMar leaving, could have spending room, right? Yeah, I mean, I've told you guys before. So even without let's say the Bulls ended up keeping DeMar DeRozan, they ended up keeping Patrick Williams. They were on track to have considerable cap space in 2025. Now, the thing that changes that is if they trade Zach LaVine and get expiring contracts back, not all expiring contracts, but let's say a big portion of that is an expiring contract for the Chicago Bulls, you're then looking at the Bulls being able to have some theoretical cap space as soon as this season, depending on how some other things go. Of course, that would depend on what Patrick Williams' extension ends up looking like, but the Bulls can have some salary cap space as early as this season. It's just not going to be much. Now, if they do use the career-ending injury exception for Alonzo Ball, that can increase that even more. So you're looking at that as well. But the Bulls heading into next offseason, they will have $41 million under the luxury tax. Now, the reason why I point that out is that the reason why the Bulls, for example, didn't use their full mid-level exception, the reason why they haven't used the disabled player exception is because it would have put them over the luxury tax. So if you're talking about a team that has $41 million under the luxury tax, that's basically what they're going to use, right? And then let's say they don't sign any long-term money and kind of kick that can down the road. You sign some vet minimums, you sign some one-year deals, you extend Patrick Williams, and then you go into the 2025-26 offseason, right? Well, before that, that'll be the summer of 2025. You're looking then at the Chicago Bulls having practical cap space of $38 million. So that's, wrong. Practical cap space of $51 million. So let's say even if Patrick Williams does resign for $18 million, you're then still looking at considerable $31 million in cap space at that time. So the Bulls can have true cap space here recently, but that doesn't really matter for the Chicago Bulls. We're not a free agent destination. We've never signed the big name free agents, so that's probably not coming regardless, but it gives the Bulls some flexibility in what they can do. So definitely look at that. BKR Sport in the building says, at this point, we need to retire Io's number at the United Center. That's funny. That's crazy. Juan Carlo Gomez says, you think Coby can win most improved player? I think he can. The thing I've always said is that Coby White is putting up a most improved player of the year season. But to win most improved player of the year, you have to have storylines. Your team has to fairly get close to winning. The storyline's there for Io. So I mean, for Coby, I don't think the storyline part is going to be a problem. The Bulls do have to win at a better rate. They don't have to be a winning team per se, but they got to win some solid games in there. So look at that. By the way, guys, if you're listening to this or watching this video, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. We do have a goal of 20,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So hit that subscribe button. A lot of people think they're subscribed, but they may not be subscribed just because I post so much. I may be in their algorithm a lot. So go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Imperfect Kingdom says, Coby has found himself. Great point there. By the way, weren't you sending me some teas? I never got them. So, but with that said, you got to make a Coby White tee, bro. You got to make the Coby White most improved player campaign tees. I need you to make that, bro. Make it in the style of a I'm telling you what to do. You the designer. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But shout out to Imperfect Kingdom, man. And make sure y'all check out Imperfect Kingdom as well. He makes some great tees, quality tees, really good tees. What's good, Haize? Man, all the DeMar slander is uncalled for. I think he's done a great job trying to adjust to a style of play completely different from his. Y'all got to stop. Well, again, slander and critique are different. Slander is like saying, oh, DeMar DeRozan is an absolute terrible basketball player. He's never going to be good. You can never do anything with DeMar DeRozan on your team. That's slander. Critique is saying, hey, DeMar didn't play the best in the first quarter of this game. He was able to pull it around. He got to the free throw line, but he didn't play the best in this game. That's not slander, right? And anybody can be critiqued. Every player in the NBA can be critiqued. So I'm not saying there isn't some slanderous stuff out there. I'm just saying everything ain't slander. Delbert with the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. He says, I'm broke as hell, Haize, but I respect what you do. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate you, man. Cornelius in the building says, I'm so proud of Coby. He's starting to give me Jamal Murray vibes. Hey, I can understand it, bro. I can understand it. Drift for Drifter says today I couldn't watch the whole game. What happened with Caruso? Him and Vooch stepped on each other's foot or knocked knees or something, and that put Caruso out. Unfortunately, he only got to play 5 minutes in this game, 5-6 minutes, something like that. Immortal Beast in the building says, "What's good, Haize? This was a good game. I'm glad Io was able to have a better game offensively, and Coby White keeps improving every night he's on the court." Completely agree with you there, brother. Completely agree with you. The Babadook. Hey, listen, I roasted that man, bro. Like that was a roast for the ages. I won't even lie to you. That was a roast for the ages. We got Archangel in the building because I feel like they keep trying to bring AC back just a little too soon. I mean, there's something to be said with that, right? I mean, I know AC wants to go, and I know if he's healthy enough to go, the Bulls are going to put him out there. But, you know, especially with that foot injury, there's something to be said about maybe if you just go ahead and let him sit for a week. Just go ahead and say, sit for a week. We'll see you in a week, brother. Maybe he can get back healthy. We have a winning chance when we play through Coby and Vooch. When the ball is in Coby's hand, he makes plays every possession. It feels like Curry when he shoots. I know it's going in 9 times out of 10. I mean, he's not shooting at that percentage at all, but Coby White is making good plays. And I think that we're seeing a player learn to develop not only their skills on the court, but the mental aspect of the game. I always say this when it comes to sports, you're usually at your best. You usually see people at their best as professional athletes when the mental part of the game starts matching the physical part of the game, where they kind of even out and be about the same. Coby White's mental part of the game is legit now. It's come on for him, and he's thriving in that now. Coby White is playing some of the smartest basketball that he's played since he's been a member of the Chicago Bulls. Relax, people. Good win for the Bulls against the Heat G League team. Bulls need to stay focused on both ends of the court. No one wants Clay. He's done for. The Clay thing, I don't understand. I don't understand the people advocating for the Bulls to trade for Klay Thompson. Love for Mr. Christopher says, love that we had 4 20-point scorers tonight. Big win. What's up with Javon Carter, though? Since the start of the season, he's just been out there beating the bulla lately. Like I said, I don't think that Javon Carter is playing the role that he necessarily thought he would be coming into this team. I think that's a part of it as well. Like the ball is very rarely in Javon Carter's hands. And not to say that, you know, that wasn't the same thing over in Milwaukee, but I do think he had the ball a little bit more. I just don't think that he's been able to get in the rhythm that he was looking to get from, in my opinion. Haize, P Kid pissed off tonight. Coby White with 11 assists. Why is he pissed off that Coby White had 11 assists? I don't know. Hey, I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Alex Lorez says, you can tell Coby's developing into a true leader because you cannot tell me Pat and Io's clear growth and impact isn't correlated with Coby's leadership. Well, I think the team's playing better in general when Coby's out there, right? And that's the point of Coby White just becoming a leader and growing into that. Coby White he's balling. I mean, there's no other way around it. There's no other way to explain it. Coby White right now is playing some of the best basketball that I've ever seen him play. And it's really good to see that in the Bulls uniform. Really good to see that. Cap of the Great says, I love the where you at the team has been playing and that DeMar has been more of a facilitator. But I can't believe that Zach was the cause of them not doing what they're doing now. I mean, listen, the thing that I look at is this. We're easily in sports just trained to think these players have these roles and they just play well in these roles no matter what it is. Right now, the difference between it isn't necessarily just the energy since Zach's out, is the fact that everybody has to touch the ball, right? Is that the shots are being spread around. And I think that's causing people to be more engaged. That's causing them to move more without the ball. It's causing all those type of things. So, you know, let's hope that continues. Let's definitely hope that continues. 515 in here now. Hit that sub button, baby. 3.9K from 20K. Hey, we got a long way to go to get to 20K, but here's what I'll say. If we get there this season, I'm going to be effing ecstatic because it just shows the hard work. So, guys, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 20K subscribers by the end of the season. I mean, if not, it is what it is. It's a tall test, but hey, we're trying to get there. Tyrone Davis says, I've always stood up for Coby from day one. I know it took a minute, but damn, he's here now. Like I said, I always go back to this story. One of the first videos I ever had on this channel that popped off was me saying at the 21-22 season, was me saying that the Bulls would be crazy to trade Coby White. I believe that was the title of the video. And people at that time were saying, hey, Haize, you're tripping. You're tripping. Yeah, it was so October 7th, 2021 is when I posted this video. The title of the video is Why the Bulls Would Be Crazy to Trade Coby White. October 7th, 2021 is when I posted that video. And I'm glad that people now have come along, right? Because people so often, I'm looking at the comments of that video now. People literally were like, "You're like, I'm gonna read one now. You're kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Why not trade Coby? Like, what are you talking about? Trade him for a center." There was this person there saying, I the reason why they should keep Coby, but at the end of the day, people saying things like, "Hey, that he doesn't fit this team. He doesn't do this." It's like, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. You gotta stop with this. And I'm glad that the Bulls kept Coby White. We heard about them like potentially trading Coby for like a Jay Crowder, right? Is that because now he's gotten to develop, and it's been great to see. We've gotten to see a player develop into a superstar right in front of our eyes. So 5 to 10 more years. Hey, listen, that was crazy. Let's go Bulls. A win always makes the ride home better. Were you at the UC, bro? Alex Larez with the super chat. Thank you, brother. Says, do you think Lonzo can still fit on this team? Lonzo's game can fit on any team. The question is what role, like how much is Lonzo going to be able to compete? That's the bigger question here, right? Because we don't know. Like Lonzo, when he comes back, is going to have to work himself probably off the bench. But this is a story for another day. Prove me wrong says, no, trade AC, man. He's going to keep diving and getting injured. No, you don't trade AC. That's stupid. No. Something's up with your mic, Haize. Sometimes you sound like a teacher from Charlie Brown. Do I? Does anybody else hear it that way? I was listening to Miami commentary. They were giving him credit. Always good to get credit from other places. Plus, Carlos and Noah was in the building. It was good to see Joakim Noah and Carlos Boozer out there. I feel a little way about Carlos Boozer. It is what it is, but always good to see Joakim Noah. Eats Instruments in the building says, "Sup, man? Got the dub. What's your breakdown of the game? I was doing Christmas stuff with the kids. Well, hopefully you've been watching the live stream because I'm not going to break it down all over again. That was the whole point of the start. You already know. You've been here long enough. You know I literally start off with a recap of the game. You're going to have to rewind it and watch it, brother. Drifter says, I was one of the guys that didn't want Coby in Chicago, but it changed when he improved on his defense, and now that he's cooking, it's a hell of a bonus. Yeah, listen, and that was the thing that Coby White did initially in that season where we tried to find his role off the bench after we signed Lonzo Ball. He started developing defensively. And now we're having a player that is complete, right? Coby is rounding out to a complete player. That's it. He's just rounding out to a complete player. And it's good to see. I love DeMar, ain't gonna lie. I think he's a great leader and a bucket, but I just don't see him going LeBron long. So think a trade wouldn't be horrible. Well, everything that we've heard comes down to this. If the Bulls can extend him on a team-friendly extension, he'll be here. If they can't, it seems like they're going to be open to trade him. What they're going to get from him, who knows, right? They may not get a lot for DeMar DeRozan on the trade market, but I think the bigger thing is that point is that you're getting something back rather than lose him for nothing in the offseason. I think that's the biggest thing that they're trying to look at with this as well. So let's hope that, whatever it goes, the Bulls got decisions to make, and we'll see. Haize, did you hear the shy announcers about Coby's hair flip during the fouls? Had me laughing. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's always going to be. We're the city of Chicago is funny. Our announcers are funny. Our people are funny. The city, like, it is what it is. LeBron long pause. That's funny. Shout out to my little brother Mark Shannon. Lakers players on the 20th, and all the D-Lo haters will be quiet after that game. Facts. You think so? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Coby going to get teams wanting to trade for him. All I see is AK laughing them off and saying, "Give me your superstar." At this point, listen, I'd rather see Coby continue to develop on this team. All y'all yelling trade AC, just remember he's the reason why we're playing this hard every single night. Not only that, when he's in the starting lineup, we win more times than we lose. Shut the fuck up and get GT. That's fun. Go to sleep. Shea always coming at people, bro. That's crazy. I heard them saying if the Bulls don't get something back, they Zach might be here for a little bit. Here's the thing that I think, right? And this is personal opinion. This is not me reporting on this. I can't say I'm reporting on this, but I just don't see the Bulls holding on to Zach LaVine. I think that they're going to find the best deal that they can possibly find for Zach, but I don't see a world in which the Bulls hold on to Zach LaVine, especially when you see the way that the team's competing now. The fact that Zach has been very vocal on the fact that he doesn't want to play for Billy Donovan. I just don't see them necessarily bringing Zach back even throughout all that and saying, hey, let's just figure it out. But hey, maybe I could be wrong on that. Maybe I can be wrong. Mark Sanders says, Haize, I'm going to be 30 next Friday, big dog. Hey, I didn't realize our birthdays were that close. So that makes you a Capricorn, I believe. Shout out to you, big dog. I'm glad. Listen, like I said before on the early stream, turning 30, there's a sense of calmness that comes with that. So happy early birthday to you, brother. Jose Sanchez says, what's good, Haize? Puerto Rico in the house. Listen, the same people that wanted to get rid of Coby are probably the same ones that are hyping him up now. We Bulls fans can overreact at times. Oh, absolutely. It's just like some of the same Bulls fans that were saying, oh, we should have let Zach LaVine walk, are now the same ones saying, oh, Zach, you can't trade Zach LaVine. What do you mean? You guys are making Zach LaVine the scapegoat. It's like, man, what you talking about, bro? Bro, Haize, I just saw a guy comment a whole story on the Bulls IG on how Vucevic sucks and Draymond, you start over him. Listen, some people you just can't talk sports to. This is what it is. Hitting the booty club, I'll let you know if I see Zion and Harden. Wow. Okay. Let me know if you see JDH in there. JDH may be face first and stripper ass at that point in time. So. Nick Boswell says trading AC makes absolutely no sense, especially based on recent reports that Acme wants to find win now pieces rather than draft pieces. AC is a win now piece. Great point. Great point on that one, Nick. Glad to have you in the building. Bro, ain't it crazy how a month ago we couldn't wait until December 15th? Hurry up. Now it's tomorrow. Time goes by fast when you're winning. Yeah, but I don't think a trade's coming tomorrow. Matter of fact, I don't think you're going to get a trade until mid-December if Zach LaVine is moved. That's my opinion. Remember when people thought we had to choose between Coby and Io? Give the front office credit for having the foresight to keep both. Well, I mean, listen, I don't think they were ever, people were asking that question. I don't think they were ever going to decide between Coby and Io because, listen, if you have two young players that you've drafted, I know AK and Eversley didn't draft Coby, but he was drafted by this franchise. You try to hold on to that. And where this team is now and where they're going, listen, you need solid pieces to build on and build a bench on. So I think that that's the case. Happy early birthday. Mine is 1-5, Big 60. Shout out to you, Fishing Time. Shout out to you, Big 60. That's crazy. Hopefully I'm still doing the show when I'm 60. Face deep in stripper ass. Yeah, that's JDH eats strip. He admitted it. He pays to eat stripper ass. Oh, see, look, there he goes right there. I'm here with a mouthful of stripper butt. That's crazy. That's wild. JDH is crazy. Hey, listen, I hope you got your tetanus shot, my guy. Would you do CP3? No, anything with CP3. Let me just tell you right now. You said Chris Paul? No. Keep Chris Paul the fuck up off my team. So, no, we don't want Chris Paul on this team. Fresh off the stage, that's crazy. That's wild. Is it me or the 2024 free agent class not the greatest except maybe two players? I would sign 2 to 3 players like Buddy Hield or D'Angelo Russell and Isaiah Hartenstein, but that's it. I mean, it depends on where we're going as a team, right? We may lose Drummond. Drum may be going to another team this offseason depending on what he's offered out there. in the open market. That it could very well be possible that he's gone. But I think ultimately, what it comes down to is that the Bulls got some leeway to play with. Now, if they file for that career-ending injury exception, that could go even further. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Shay in the building says, I'm just gonna say this: the way Coby White is playing right now, just wait on Patrick Williams. It's coming. Hey, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Bathor Payne in the building says, Pat the designer made a point. The team likes each other, and when Zach lost interest, they all basically mourned him on the court. Now they have an energy and are showing what they should be. That is a great point from Pat the designer. Pat the designer doesn't make very many good points. No, I'm just playing. Y'all know that's my guy. But yeah, great point. True, me. I know it's not going to happen, but I just say if Chicago Bulls let Billy go tomorrow, do you believe Zach LaVine will say, okay, I will stay? I do not believe so. Just asking. I think at this point, the relationship's ruined. Like, I think at this point, it's done. I don't believe that would even save Zach LaVine staying on the Chicago Bulls team. V.O. Walker says, hey, Haize, another well-coached game from Billy Donovan. I'm telling you, he ain't as bad as Bulls fans make him out to be. You can tell the players like playing for him. You know, he's bad. Adjustments are bad. He's only going to get you so far. He's not, and like I always say, he's not a terrible head coach. He's not a great head coach either. He's somewhere between those two things, and that's fine. But even being a good head coach doesn't mean you're good for this team. Now, it could be that he's better for the team as we're going forward, especially with having a dynamic point guard like Coby White out there, but not necessarily saying that's the truth right now. Omar in the building with the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, my brother. I appreciate you. Says, take this and go see a effing barber. Don't forget to trim that damn beard. I'm just saying, but here's small token appreciation for being one of my favorite consistent content creators. Much love, family. Appreciate you, Omar. I'm actually going to the barber tomorrow. Believe me, I'm usually somebody who goes to the barber once a week. I had to go 2 weeks between this time just because of my schedule and this games and my barber schedule. But Lord knows I'm at the barber tomorrow at 5 p.m. and I cannot wait to go to the barber. I can't wait, bro. I hate looking like a ginger caveman. I really hate that. I hate it. I can't stand it. I'm conflicted about trading AC. I don't, but for 2 first picks, and I have those picks. One of those picks, 2025. You could possibly draft Cooper Flag. I'll probably do it with you, Haize. Ah, man. It depends. You gotta look at what that team, because theoretically, any team that's trading for Alex Caruso at that point is trying to be a championship contending team. So even if they did give you 2025 first round pick, I don't think that's I wouldn't even talk myself into thinking that's gonna possibly get you Cooper Flag, because I just don't see it. I just don't see it at all. V.O. Walker says, I love how DeMar defers to Coby and the young guys at the end. That's a sign of growth. I can agree with you there. Can definitely agree when he does. Now, he hasn't done it every game, but when he does it, I can definitely agree with you there. Definitely agree with you there. People need to stop trying to get old players in exchange for LaVine. We're better off keeping him than getting trash in return. Also, Bulls have an upper hand because on his max deal, he's on his max deal and can leverage. I mean, here's the thing. There's multiple years left on Zach LaVine's contract, but the thing that we're not kind of taking into consideration is how much just removing the distraction of it all. If you keep Zach LaVine here, yeah, theoretically you can move him next season or whatever it is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to. And if he comes back in here pouting, which he did do in his last few games, that can disrupt team chemistry in a way that I'm just not willing to sacrifice just to hold on to a player because we don't necessarily have to trade him. Now, that's my personal opinion. That doesn't mean that that's how AK and Eversley view it, but that's my opinion. Oh, I get it now. Must have been that gruff ass beard brushing the mic. Oh, no. That's not what you were hearing. But anyway, Cornelius says, I agree, Haize. Feel you on that one, brother. Sydney says, do you think the players are truly better off without Zach? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, the eye test. It looks like it. It feels like it. We've been winning more. And so it's not necessarily that they're better without Zach. Here's what I'll say is that when you put the ball in professional basketball players' hands, it forces them to do more things. And I think that missing a player like Zach LaVine, who I believe was averaging 18 shots per game, those 18 shots got to get distributed somewhere. And so that gives more opportunities to other players. So if the front office been sneak shopping him for years, he has the right to want to go. Do not know if this is true, but the rumors have persisted for 2 seasons. Well, rumors are rumors. And the thing is, the Bulls have not been shopping him. They've actually been turning down offers for him for 2 years. Had they taken the Knicks offer last year at the trade deadline, the Knicks offered RJ Barrett, Isaiah Hartenstein, and 2 first-round picks and a pick swap. Right? The Bulls aren't sniffing that deal now. So they weren't shopping him. But it is what it is. The Bulls are 5-2 without Zach, at least in the stretch. Facts. Proof's in the pudding, like I said. EG3 TVs, thank you for supporting us at the channel, brother. With the super chat says, Haize, big ups to you, bro. Holding it down for my hometown. How do you feel about Cade Cunningham in Chicago? There's no way that the Pistons are trading Cade Cunningham. He's one of the only bright spots on that team that's lost that many games. So I don't get me wrong. If the Bulls were to make that trade and somehow Cade Cunningham, I wouldn't be terrible. Like I don't hate Cade Cunningham, but just the realism part of it is the Pistons aren't trading Cade Cunningham. They're just not. So that's my opinion on that part of it. But all right, y'all, gonna get ready to wrap it up. Gotta go do Locked on Bulls here in a second. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Locked on Bulls. Make sure you guys, we're gonna do this officially. I haven't done this much all season officially. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.
I see bread, I see bread.